Ivy. What's up, nerds? We are going over one of the best shows on TV right now, if I do say so myself. If I
Oof.
dare say it, it's got a strong. What is the underside of a house called when you want to make it build sturdy? And it's like, you don't want it built on sand. You want a strong foundation.
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 Very
We
well
have a
put, sir.
that was flawless. That was flawless on my part. And of course we are I have my special guest joining me today. He is the Abraxas to my Prime Radiant, the Harry Seldon to my Gal Dornick, the Hobart to my Mallow. It is Alex, the Jedi Master Grayson. How you doing, man?
Oh man, doing tip top. So excited. Thanks for having me on again to talk about this lovely, lovely show. Continues to impress. And yeah, man, so excited to get into talking about these beautiful black ladies in space.
Woo! Gotta love it. So much. Sorry, that's with my lighting right now. And we are going to be covering episode 7. However, we do want to return to episode 6 just for Harry Seldon's flashback, because if you were watching last week, the cops came, raided our shit, shut us down, and we couldn't do it. So I'm going to also be very wary. We're not going to be going 3 hours. Promise. Swear to God. I promise to you, Alex. No need. We're not going Mega 3 episode or that we did last weekend, but just going back to Harry Seldon's flashbacks, because that is definitely a great moment in the show and needs to be addressed. Had some thoughts about it. But I'll make sure that I don't play too many actual clips for the whole runtime, because we literally just kind of like watched 3 episodes on stream last week, so I can understand that was my bad. That was my bad.
It's hard not to get caught up. It's a great show.
It's a really great show. And can you just give us a little refresher of what is going on? How did Harry find himself in this situation, looking
right
messed up?
Yeah, he ends up in a tight spot. He's like tied up to these posts by Tellum, which I think is like a really
Soldier
awesome.
Boy Tellum.
Yeah, right. It's a great name.
Yeah,
Tell him I said that. But yeah, like tell him she doesn't care about psychohistory and Harry's plans, but she's been trying to find and destroy the Prime Radiant. So basically, after she gets all that after she gets all that she wants from Harry's mind, she pretty much is just like, well, I can't have you fucking up everything. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna kill you in the most dramatic way possible.
Right, yeah. It's very dramatic. And it's almost like a situation is like, well, I'm not killing you. The water is.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
why don't you just
It's like that scene from Batman Begins where he's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm not gonna save you. But I don't have to save you. He just like jumps off the train. It's like that's splitting hairs, bats.
Right, yeah, you're really pushing your loopholes here. But yeah, and Tellum is like this. I think we came to the agreement that she's like Magneto if Magneto had Xavier's powers instead.
Yeah.
And that's her whole island of Krakoa, basically, that is just all filled with mutants. And it's really interesting. But as Harry's dying, and he's having flashbacks, his life is flashing before his eyes. Which
I thought was a very cool part of the show. Also, I just wanted to mention, because Tellum makes it look like Harry is like angry and he leaves on Salvor's ship. So they just like think that he's gone.
Ditched. Yeah.
So when Tellum does all this stuff, they're not like, "Where's Harry?"
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It seems to be like on a different like remote island part, or kind of like a different island where they just have this sick ass pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just hang out. Sometimes we kill people. It's
Right.
whatever the
Yeah.
vibe is.
Usually we have a DJ booth, but not today. Waves are a bit too rough. But I did want to like look up the location of like where this actually is. My guess is like I'm like Scotland or some shit like that. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably something like that. I did see some cool behind the scenes stuff where apparently they had to do some reshoots and they brought the actor, like they couldn't get this location again, so they brought the actor to like a big kiddie pool in a parking lot, and they filmed a lot of it that way, and then they just like did some compositing. But it's like flawless. You can't tell at all.
That is. So you're saying like getting Harry Seldon in the kiddie pool, or
Harry Seldon in the kiddie pool with like the posts and stuff. But they just like obviously they did some CGI trickery to make it look
dope.
Yeah,
that's really dope. I might pull that up in a little bit. But yeah, we catch up with Harry having a flashback from when he is a child, and he's like playing on his little iPad. And what he's doing is these creatures have some migration process, and he actually explains it later, which I will play when we get to that. But he was able to figure out like the little trajectory of all of the all of the animals, and figure out a pattern. And this obviously freaks out his fucking parents. Sam.
So yeah, this is such a cool scene.
Yeah, so like just from a very young age, Harry Seldon was a crazy motherfucker.
It's and we already saw that other scene where it kind of establishes how nurturing his mom is and just like nurturing his intelligence. I don't know remember if this season or it was the last, but this is just a cool like build on that of his childhood where he you can see the contrast between his mom and his dad, because like as soon as like his dad comes over, he's like, "Move out of the way, woman!" Whap! And just slaps him right in the face.
Step away from the boy.
You won't catch these hands. Yeah,
right. Slap cut to the future. Like he slapped him so hard that he's a professor now. And he is a professor at this it's an institution. I think it's on the planet that he is actually from. And I can already see her coming from back here, is badass wife. But this woman here is actually very like it's all under the Empire.
Right. Yeah.
And she's a Empire representative that's monitoring Harry's work very closely, because he is let's see here. Let's let her say or maybe not. What's going on here?
Doesn't feel like talking.
She's like, no.
Institutions, ideas that inspire thoughts, differing ideas, debates.
Isn't that the point of a university?
Empire would discourage this on obvious grounds, including some very serious ones.
So you think it's treason to say all empires
You're
fall?
talking.
So, yeah.
Well,
and
one of the things I was thinking about during this was it's all very cool and interesting, like getting to know Harry at this time, but I'm very curious how he's lived this long. Like Empire has been in control of everything his whole life. How did he even have the just like the gall or the opportunity to just be like, I'm gonna express myself? What's the worst that can happen?
Right. Yeah.
Like, have you not lived in this world?
Right. Yeah. Haven't you seen like other people go missing?
Right.
Want to be a little bit more hush hush on that.
Yeah.
It's a bit interesting.
It's I do really love how they just like exemplify just how Empire is everything. Though. It's like
Mhm.
no, you're not being spied on. Just Empire is everything
Literally
that
everything
around you. Yeah.
Right.
About the power of large groups to affect change, you are talking about.
Evolution.
Dr. Thad, we spoke last week. Please.
I don't think it's
she's awesome,
such
right?
a good idea to
Yeah.
share your first with Dr.
Because
Seldon.
she is very
We
witty.
agree on something.
I've been
I've been here less than a minute and already I'm fostering unity. It's
That was
such
a
a
great
great line.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic line. But of course she believes in
What's your name again? Our grant won't cover.
just need help making it practicable. We're going to do wonderful things together.
so she believes in the RAMXES equation and you know, we see Harry spit some pretty weak game, some old game. And she's like, what is he say?
I was just wondering if there was a Mr. Kine back home on Calder.
Of course there is. But why would you want to know about my father?
Oh, your brother.
He's just like, oh, you tricky motherfucker. I was like, yeah, she's just nailing it, and we know that it's going to end badly.
Right. Yeah. Because we didn't see her in season 1. So yes.
Yeah, so he's not around.
And I really do, not to sound like morbid, but I do hope that this is like the serious death of this Harry, because they did do a lot to just give him a good send off. Like if this is him having his life flash before his eyes, this is really just beautifully told. Him developing this relationship with his wife.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. In this, I thought was very interesting, because he has a what do you like the prototype of the Prime Radiant, and it's all like kind of chunky, like it just is like a black box at this point, right?
Right.
Putting in a quantum device.
Oh, but it's nothing without the theory underpinning it.
I can never thank you enough.
So she whips out one of these, and one thing I noticed was that it looks like the vault.
Oh wow, yeah, it does. I didn't even twig that. It really does.
And
That's
I was
crazy.
like, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty great. And what? And can you describe what these things are that she pulled out?
So yeah, from what I understand, they gave each other these pendants where he has these pendants where he can feel the heartbeat of her and their baby that they've now conceived, or that that is now living in her womb. So it's always just like gently beating against his chest, which I think is like a really cute and creative like idea for just like a gift, because people come up with like crazy kind of gifts and jewelry to give each other all the time. It's like, ooh, what if you could feel the heartbeat of your
like that's actually something
child.
that is so practical that I believe that like that will end up being something in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I could see people wanting that, and it would be like a very sweet thing to have or whatever. And maybe in like even in the near future, we might be able to pull something like that off. So
yeah,
I think that's really interesting.
And it ends up being like a plot point too, which is or a plot device, I guess. Later on, it's cool that it manages to do both. Like it's doing a lot.
Yeah, and on the rewatch of this, when the plot device happens, when well, let's see here, we have. I'll just move on with this because what's being offered now to both of them is that they want to move Harry to Trantor.
Right.
To a university there. He's like, bro, I've seen this movie before. Fuck that. Like, no, not at all. They're just trying to get even more control over my work and everything. But you know, like I think that he's just being really stupid here.
Yeah, he's being selfish and
He's
dumb.
being pretty dumb.
Here, I have orders to terminate your funding and seize your work. But if you go, you will be able to continue. Empire simply wants to review what you do, see if it has useful applications.
Oh, applications.
I do think it's interesting that like she is always wearing pink too.
Right, fresh from the Barbie
Like every-
premiere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's fresh out. Hello, Barbie. But he's not very Ken in this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, there's that line of him saying that we'll be pressed against the ribs of the Empire, and she lays it down like,
Do one or the other. They'll kill her.
I wouldn't put it past them.
We need to consider the offer.
She made her decision.
They're telling her.
I wanted to. Right here, this is where we find out like how he hid the prime radiant.
Calling up the
Because
legs
it's
Oh,
of
right.
Jam power.
Boom.
Very cool.
Because he's like, it's not going to look like the way that you know it usually looks. So
Yeah.
take note of that, which I thought was pretty interesting.
He said
Yeah,
the gods
was
made
pretty rad.
wine to compensate those who can't afford.
And that's the name of this episode is Why the Gods Made Wine, which is brilliant.
And they admit that they had that line earlier in the season, right? When in the episode where he's like in the prime radiant, he's like hearing things. I feel like that was one of the lines that was said in the dark.
Yeah. Because she is because if I'm not like that's the philosopher or the
Right.
poet that
Yeah.
speaks in that verse, and that's the book.
Right.
But yeah, I also like this line when she's like, you know, if we're going to be pressed up against the ribs of the Empire, great part to stop, by the way. And if we're going to be pressed against the ribs of the Empire, that's the best place to slide in a knife.
That's
And
the
she's
best
like-
place to slide in a knife.
What?
There was a writer on Calder, Gorik Tarka. He said, the gods made wine to compensate those who can't afford revenge.
And it's like just really great lore in this because you know I was looking up these quotes or whatever, and I was thinking that like they were actually like pretty old quotes from like actual books, but it's like just quotes that existed in the books. Like he created this, you know, philosophical principles that people call back on in this world, but like he's just still all just making it up.
Right. Yeah.
Asimov, and I was like, that's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, like honestly, I wish I could have had a conversation with Isaac Asimov, or maybe I wouldn't have understood a damn thing, because if you can conceptualize all this stuff,
right.
My God,
Yeah, but like pretty galaxy brain dude. When it all comes down to it.
yeah.
But he's not really. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I was just gonna say, just like to talk more about this whole situation that they're going through. That actress who's playing the I guess the person who's trying to get Harry to come to Trantor. First of all, she was on the show called Utopia. She played this character called Jessica Rabbit. She was awesome. But
Utopia.
It's a BBC show. And then they made an Amazon remake about a few years ago. But really good show.
Okay.
And she's really good in this because you can really see how like desperate she is and how scared she is.
Yeah.
Harry seems really like flippant about it too, which is I feel is kind of shitty of him, because his wife is like, you know, they're gonna kill her for this. And he was like, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Like that sounds like some Empire shit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really care.
Like just kind of
right.
being a big dick. Yeah. Just a huge douchebag in this. Yeah. Like her desperation and her franticness is shining through.
And I think him ignoring all that really it ends up escalating into what happens later on with them.
Yeah, and in a sense that like we're all just getting flashbacks, and it does feel like this did take place over a longer period of time, but of course we're just jumping straight to point. And I thought it was interesting because on the rewatch, that's when I heard it the first time. I did not notice it, or like there's this little tonal shift, and like, or you can actually like subtly hear the beepings in the background, and then it stops right here.
I did not notice that. Okay, yeah,
I didn't notice it the first time around, but then on the rewatch, I was like, okay, that's actually dope. Really dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's waiting.
That's incredible. That's cool.
It was really good. Because I was like, okay.
And yeah, she tries to play this moment so well, but he already knows the deal. So sad, but it also just like shows how smart Harry is. He's just like 5 steps ahead of her in every way.
Right, and he's like literally already hacked into the car and everything. Gives her a fucking rock. Like he's just like advanced hacking moves and also a rock.
Right.
Like he's just not willing to nothing is too low.
Right. I can still use some Indiana Jones type trickery.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty great.
Changing destination.
What did you do?
You're coming along.
Not the deal, Harry.
Not the deal, Harry.
For somebody breaks into other people's data, you don't guard yours very well.
You want to waste our time moving farther away from Yana?
Yana's dead.
No.
Yana's dead.
Yana's dead.
Like, bro, I felt her die. And he just brings her to back to his childhood.
Yeah. Interesting way to kill someone, but also I guess it's a great way to not have it like make it seem like you killed her. Because hey, we were both out there. I could have easily. I'm lucky to have gotten away with my life.
Well, I don't know why she brought me out here. Fuck.
That's her car. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did she do this?
Yeah.
Case.
Let's see here. Oh, she's street dogs. Sheepdogs, he calls her. Okay. So yeah, he kind of describes like what happens, and I was like, wow, this is a fucking interesting migration for these animals.
The funny thing, the planet of the moon sharing an atmosphere. It allows the shrikes to graze on the moon, but only if they can break free of the gravity.
It's a terrible labor. They have to be tremendously strong and move very fast.
Harry, this isn't you.
Revenge isn't in your name. Yeah, fuck. You don't know, bitch. You literally do not know. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Like these animals, like literally break atmosphere and trudge off and graze on the moon.
Yeah.
And, apparently that moon is like somewhat inhabitable too. I was like, that's such a good concept for just like a small part of the story. All right.
Yeah, it was so cool, like really great world building. Even at the beginning of the episode, before he explains how their migration pattern is, just seeing that they turn from like, I guess like alien antelope just running down the field is like, oh, I've seen this in Lion King before, but less spacey. But then they jump off a cliff and they grow these bat wings. It's like, what? Haven't seen that in anything.
Right. And they're just fucking flapping away.
It's just so it's so incredibly good.
And Yana in one of the scenes is like talking about like how everyone on this world is just kind of soft, right? Because she's like, it's the gravity. You guys are just bathing in the silver moonlight. I was like, oh yeah, that would probably have an effect. Like, I bet the moon looks fucking crazy at nighttime, and it's almost never like completely dark outside because of how close the moon is. And then obviously that's having an effect on the gravity. So
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are kind of like, just have like really great, like their backs aren't fucked up.
No, chilling. Like, if you got a bad back, like you have bad allergies, like your doctor like recommend you move to Arizona or some such shit. It's like, you have a bad back, it's like, oh, maybe you should move to this planet. They have their moon's pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. That you just go on vacation to this other planet, and it just makes you just feel great. You're jumping, like you're just dunking. All of a sudden, you're like, man, this is fantastic.
It's like, I was playing center on my home planet.
But yeah, he kills her. Spoiler alert. And the next scene, which I was kind of like a little disappointed of, is that they kind of just moved to him being on Taranto, or like they worked out some type of deal after that. It was like, all right, I'm going to be working for you. But of course, he has like this immense anger in his heart now.
Yeah.
We pulled the texts you asked for. Goric Tarka of Calder is an unusual request for a scientist.
A friend recommended him.
Yeah, it's like, Gork's. I was like,
cool.
I kind of want to read that book. I want to read the book inside this fucking book,
right?
That they got. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I liked this little moment. I'm where we just see the progression, or like he's got his revenge goatee growing out. He's thinking about but he's probably going to be a lot more secretive about how he's gonna get his revenge. As this whole last situation probably was a very big learning lesson about the reach of the Empire and how his own hubris can get in the way of just like he can hurt the people he loves. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I believe, maybe we will be wanting to refer back to this before the season ends. But actually, episode 7 really is of little consequence of what we just learned. But not to say that episode 7 is still a very great episode. But it definitely is lacking on what's happening with Perry, because as we see it, he's not able. That is just the worst, because he's tied up like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you could do this for a while, but like, you're not just not getting enough.
It's just like the littlest amount of movement. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible way to go.
I was like, man, I'm not even like that tired. I just can't do this shit.
Right. Yeah. And I just really well shot, like this whole scene. I like how the sometimes there'd just be this sudden splash of like triplets of water. Like, it just looked beautiful. But horrifying.
So is this like the kiddie pool then, you think? Or
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not the video that I saw where he's talking about it, like they showed, I think, clips of the kiddie pool in the parking lot, but I don't think they showed it. And I don't think they showed the scene. I don't know. Actually, I'll do some searching real quick while we move on.
But yeah, the episode just ends there. Looked like he dead in the water. He did.
He did.
Most likely he did. And then we move on to episode 7. And this one was, it's hard to say. Like, it's one of my favorite episodes of the season, episode 7.
Really? Actually, yeah. I would agree. I would agree.
It's one of my favorite. I mean, it's been a banger season so far. So I just really like how they really respect our time on the show, and then also they aren't redundant with the pieces that they're laying, um, and some of the things that are going on are definitely just like being it's they're just connecting it so well to everything that we've seen before. So when we are like wondering why these people are being sent here or there, we're like, oh, okay, now all of this other stuff is starting to make a bit more sense. And I feel like that's like really important for any type of show to do. Let me see here. Pull this up. What? Let me see here.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, like they have a lot of plates to spin for sure. With all the different characters throughout many parts of the galaxy, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Tie it all together. But yeah, this is just like the video where this is the section of the video where they're talking about this scene. I can't remember exactly when they bring up the actual pool part. I don't think that they have any clips of the pool itself.
I don't want to have corridor crew. I like these guys. I don't want them to get at me.
Right.
Yeah. And make it work. So take it away, Chris, and explain. This was a disaster.
Yeah. So all of the coverage on Jared was in the parking lot. Her coverage we did up higher when we were in La Gomera from the pool. So when we're looking back towards the pylons in the water,
was real.
Those are real.
So that's real.
That's crazy.
Just not near the water.
Yeah.
And then if you really look at the sequence, you can see we framed out
And so
the top of the pool there. And we had water cannons, so that's all practical. And we were really judicious about where you actually see things and where you don't see things. But
that's really awesome.
Crazy. And that's flawless. Like you can't see that doesn't look like a
shot
parking
at all.
lot. Yeah.
That's parking lot
and
plates from the all combined.
That is really dope.
My
Let me see that one more time.
That's incredible.
That's parking lot.
It's kind of just like a render, I believe, of not like the actual parking lot, but
and
plates from the real.
How they did it.
Man, yeah, that's
fucking movie magic, bro.
Movie magic.
Wow. You gotta love
just
it.
like a lot of creativity too. Yeah, just 'cause I feel like if it was Disney, they would have spent like a lot more money just to go like to fly back out there or something,
Right.
or rent out a whole huge sound studio rather than put it in a parking lot in a kiddie pool.
Right. I'll be right back. Do you want to just give some words about what is happening with our team here?
Yeah, so this is Polly and who is it? What's that? Constant. Let's see. They've been, sort of apprehended because they're on their way to Empire to I guess plead their case about what was it? Here, let me pull out these notes because my notes will be better than me. While she tries to get to the bottom of that, Harry Seldon's other plan is put into motion when Constant, Polly, and Hober Mallow end up exactly where he wanted them. Here's what the events unfolds. Oh man, I'm doing terribly. All right, Constant and Polly Verisov, they land on Trantor, and they are arrested due to their connection to the Foundation. And while they're waiting in prison, Polly kind of feels guilty about ruining the plan. But Constant, tries to tell him that maybe this is all part of the plan. Just like don't get down on yourself.
And it turns out it is kind of necessarily a part of the plan. And I was so glad to see them like not in those like black mask things. I was like, okay, good. That right now.
Yeah, at least they're treating them with humanity. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, this holding cell is just kind of cool and stylish or whatever. I do like what I love their screens. I
Yeah,
love
me
how
too.
they're just kind of just these like weird synthesized, not really like holograms, but almost like sandy type of things.
Yeah. And I've seen stuff like this, like like Man of Steel had a similar technology, like the Kryptons had a
Right.
similar technology, but it looks like gray and ugly. This is actually seems like it's a progression of technology rather than like making it look worse and less less
like
detailed.
actually like useful, like
Yeah.
where it'll be easy to use rather than like I don't want to carry this big old whatever thing everywhere.
Right. Yeah, but this is
then,
very cool.
Let's see what they say here.
Their relationship is so weird.
You'll always have a place here, Demerzel. And yeah, this guy is so fucking weird just because like he loves her so much.
Yeah.
But and we come to find out that like he's doing this whole thing mostly in spite of Harry Seldon.
Right. He's trying to correct the psychohistory, as it were.
Right. And apparently he's kind of a fan. He's like an anti-fan.
Right. He's like, I've read all your shit.
Yeah, I know it. But this has been great having Sereth.
Yeah.
Queen Sereth, it's awesome. Last episode when she like spoke out of line, and gave her a really great speech about like, everyone is Empire and we belong to you.
Right.
And he was just like, nah, bitch. This is not how they work. I'm Empire. You by my side, but you ain't really Empire like that. Perfectly honest.
Yeah, and I appreciated how like this character kind of overplays her hand more and more as the season has gone on, because she's always seemed like smarter and brash and just like unafraid, but now we're seeing like, okay, there are consequences if you keep doing this.
Tense, but she's still maneuvering this situation like a butterfly knife. She is making. She's got some moves that she still got on the board.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, hey, bitch, I think you might be done. And I was like, oh, she's got another thing up sleeve.
Yeah, man.
Pretty awesome.
Why do I feel as though my joiner is about to live up to the title?
No admonishments, just advice.
Let's see here.
You were the cynosure of all lives today.
And last week they did find out that Demerzel is an android. And I thought this conversation was really awesome between them. Let's see here.
I know, Demerzel. I know what you are. Your
mechanical nature.
Damn, subtle.
And it's funny that like Demerzel is an android, but then she is starting to like become more showing her like feelings a lot more. And I think I was on Reddit, someone was saying that like because she is supposed to be in tune with the Empire, they had it because she's in tune with the Empire. She's having these changes because the Empire is now not one single person anymore.
Right.
Like since they're having deviations, so is she.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because they do even mention in this conversation that the robots used to go by the 3 rules, but now she's programmed to only follow one rule, which is to obey Empire. And it's very interesting to see how that has changed over this time that the genetic dynasty has been altered and all these Empire people are different.
Generations,
but, yeah. But it's also intriguing what could happen in the future, you know, because eventually now that the genetic dynasty is over, Dawn will die, you know, Day will die, they'll all die. And then who does she serve after that? Do we need to reprogram this girl? Because she's just going to go bananas?
Or is she going to still serve whoever the Empire is and then like have to match up with their unique like idiosyncrasies and like personality traits and also like do trait? Yeah, it's
actually
really
because I think doesn't Dawn or Day says, yeah, my child, though he won't, you know, look like me, you know, he'll still be Empire or something like that.
Exactly.
Mechanical nature. I need to be read into the family secrets. I won't live at a disadvantage.
You are well informed. I am a humaniform robot.
And she like just exudes Princess Sarah just exudes so much confidence too. In the face of Empire, which I really admire this actress for like pulling that off.
Yeah,
and like just kind of like showing her like little subtle feelings. But yeah, it's been like really great to see her.
I had a governess who told tales of the Great Pogrom. She said you'd all been destroyed. Are there any other survivors?
And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Because on Demerzel's face, it does look like there may be other survivors. Or she's remembering like the slaughter of her people.
Yeah. It's definitely,
Which is a very interesting like dynamic between these two because, you know, Empire, Demerzel killed all of her family.
Right.
For the name of Empire. And then like she's also kind of like in that same position, has been in the same position.
To my knowledge, I am the last one.
To her knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think that's also just cool, that just the idea that there could be more robots out there. But yeah, and also just having a little bit more information about just like the Great Pogrom, as they called it, where they slaughtered all the androids. But there's still this humanity in this android, so it makes you wonder what went wrong in the relationship between humans and androids, and how Cleon ended up with this android and managed to reprogram her. And there's like so many questions about her backstory.
And in Dune, they have a very similar situation, but it's called the Butlerian Jihad, and that's like no thinking machines, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what no thinking machines. So that's why all the fiefdoms have mentats that are like just basically human calculators and calculations, and
kind of like the spacers in this.
Right. And yeah, that's why they need the navigators. And they're like, and how they're describing the whisper ships is like, is this thinking? It's like they literally call it like a thinking thing, like organic computer or something. I forget what term they use for it.
Oh, when they were talking about the whisper ships, they had said they was able to like develop bio, like I forget exactly how they put it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting term. Let's see here.
Hence my line of questioning. When the time comes, I want to know, will you serve me?
I will serve Empire.
Whew. It's like, but like, again, like, what does that mean, though?
Yeah. I need more answers. And they were both just acting their asses off. Like, they both have such a strong screen presence, coming from two different points of view. And it was just great seeing them just act all over each other's faces.
And it continues here. Like this scene,
right she gets her ass kicked in this scene, like,
because she's like so confident. Like, look how many fucking people are in front of her during this gynecologist visit.
Right? Yeah, it's like I loved how this scene opened up too, where we get the faces, close-ups on all these faces, complete strange faces. Like, these are not people who are familiar with this situation.
Right.
But
let me actually get into that because it's so relevant. Like, just like we don't. I don't know. It's just really did a great job.
nobody looks happy.
She's just like, what the fuck?
It's an upsetting scene.
It's very upsetting. But she is getting gynecologist, and there's a really great line in this scene right here.
Disabled. It's kicks, maybe.
Yes, I'm quite sure that it is.
Oh. I see the Queen has chemically stimulated the royal ovaries as we requested.
The royal ovaries. I mean, like,
Just
can you
so
not put that on the
bro.
big screen? Like, that is weird.
Like, aren't some HIPAA laws being broken up in this bitch? I don't know half of these people.
Yeah. And the other half, I really wish they weren't here.
Right.
It's so strange.
Once this is finished, you'll be sedated so we can harvest the eggs.
You're not harvesting anything until Empire and I are legally bound.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. That's kind of that's fair. And all of
Not an
like,
unreasonable
did I
request,
agree
yeah.
to harvesting?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know. I was just having like some coffee with my homegirl, and y'all just pulled me
Yeah.
in here. I didn't know I was getting harvested today.
Right. That's fucking.
But I liked that, that she starts sort of taking swings at Demerzel to get some sort of leniency at the situation.
Call me old-fashioned.
You're in no position to argue.
Is that a joke, Demerzel? I can argue in any position.
Like, that is literally when they cut to this, like saying that, I was like, such a well crafted scene,
Yeah.
Is that a joke, Demerzel? Look at me, I'm arguing in any position right now. I was just like, yes, Queen. Yes, love it.
The moment you accepted Empire's proposal, your room became Imperial property.
And you would know all about being Imperial property, wouldn't you?
Ooh. 3
Like,
snaps in a
bitch.
Z formation.
Like, ooh, they are sparring right now, and I love it. I could have got a whole episode of them just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just slyly talking shit. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
It's really good.
Cloud Dominion has equal interest in the Queen's offspring. So we know.
So she's like, get out, everyone. And this is when she kind of, Demerzel is like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my old me because I think you bitches forgot who the old me was. Like, y'all must have fucking forgot.
Yeah, allow me to reintroduce myself.
I am Demerzel, bitch.
You believe Empire killed your family? I know you have come here with that in mind, so just to say it. If ever you should entertain some fantasy of revenge, please think of them. Your parents, your siblings, burnt alive by the very air around them.
This is when the facade is starting to break.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ooh, boy. Okay.
Killed with the sort of precision I bring to my work.
Killed with the sort of precision that I bring to my work.
She put some stank on that eye too. She's like, I want you to know it was me.
Yeah. This is how I do it. I do it. Next time you try talking about Empire's property and all that shit, remember, I'm precise.
Think of them. Oh, so awful.
Denzel
Oh my
Washington in Denzel Washington in Training Day. I'm surgical with this thing, Jake.
She said I'm surgical with it.
I'm surgical with it. And this was like I think the one kind of like take where I was just like, or just weird at it. I remember like last week when Salvor and Harry were fishing and like he went like,
oh right, where it was just a
like
weird cut.
like and then straight to like
yeah, he was like went from laughing, like he was laughing out loud to just like solemnly looking at the water.
Right. I was like, wait, what happened? Like this is kind of like in the same vein here, just for like how I mean she was already looking down. But I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of like
it would have been better if they stayed with her rather than like cut away and then they cut back and now she's in hysterics.
Yeah, she kind of like she kind of broke a little bit, like too much there, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't want you to be ugly crying. Like, you know, I wanted to just see it on your face, but like you're like, ooh.
Yeah,
you use a tissue.
It was weird how like it's because she's been so strong up to that point. She's been able to take stuff on the chin pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a scene where she just straight up just
like,
loses all her faculties. It's like
which is fair, which is like a fair or whatever, because that would be so fucking stressful. Like I just got my genitals like gawked at by half the empire, and then reminded that how my family died, like being burned alive by the very air around them. Like,
awful.
The fuck, Demerzel?
And just the thinking about and having the idea of like, if you ever think about, maybe bucking the system, just think about how they horribly died.
But at the same time, it's like, well, that means they got nothing to lose, right?
Right? Like, like
you killed my family. I'm the only one left, so
right. What scares one person motivates another. So yes,
right.
Could not work out how she wants.
We catch up with the gal pals, and let's see here, and she is, my baby is like completely in her Jedi mode right now.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is intense. And she's still counting primes.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I think that was like another cut where I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? She's just like, because she literally like looks like Yoda up there when she does it.
Yeah, she just like zips around. Like I'm excited about just like the development of her powers and where that's gonna go, because she's clearly more gifted than anyone else on the island, but also Salvor is just like trying to bring her back down to earth, because it's like, hey, I've been the most gifted guy in a small town too. So
I really like that.
Yeah,
I really like that. Let me just play this one more time. Oh yeah, I think it's very fascinating, the fact that she's literally been counting primes or whatever up and has never lost her place.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy.
That's some genius shit. Yeah.
Thinks about some other stuff and solves RAMXES, but then she's like, where was I? Okay. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
like,
brilliant. I like that. That's like continues to be her like comfort thing that she does.
Yeah, and you could probably like, piece it all together and kind of like decipher how much time in her life has passed by just like the last time that's been brought up throughout the series. And
right. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
There she goes. Here's Yoda. because she's like, you know, she's perched heel, you know.
Yeah, it's very
So like,
yeah.
twisting like that, like an owl or whatever. Like that's so.
Yeah, it looked like a video game move. Yeah, like.
And it's almost like she turned, had enough time to see that it was Salvor, and then did it anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just kind of like a strange, funny cut in that sense.
900,386.
Oh, Salvor looking so good.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of like the cut, but it was just like, did she like turn her head and then do it anyway? And she's like, okay, don't do that shit again, but like, come back. Get off that fucking rock.
Reason. You keep acting like the mule is some abstract thing. He isn't.
And she's like, yeah, I saw your dead body. That's pretty fucking intense.
He's like, yeah, that's cool. We're worried about the future. I'm worried about right now. It shit is really weird around here. I really like the fact that Salvor she continues to be the most grounded person. And she brings up the fact that went back on not Trantor, what was it? The Foundation, Terminus, that she could read people really well. And we saw a lot of that in the first season with her coin flipping and shit like that. But she's, saying ever since she's been here with all the openness that they've been talking about.
Is there someone behind you?
Someone behind me? No.
What is that?
Oh no, that's a tree moving in the window.
Oh, okay. I was just like, it looks like someone's stalking your window there.
It creeps me out every once in a while too. It's like because it just looks like someone slowly,
like
peeking in.
Breathe. There's someone inside the house.
I appreciate your concerns. Like, yo, my man, there might be somebody trying to break into your house.
Like Slender Man is behind you from this vantage point. I was like, where? Guy has tall ass legs.
We also have like 20 parrots that have decided to live right outside my window too. It's crazy,
really?
But that's it's a story for another time. But
Parrots.
they came out of nowhere and they're here to stay, I guess. But I did like just Salvor just being like, I haven't been able to read anybody, and as much as everybody's talking about how open we're supposed to be in each other's mind,
right?
But Gale's like, don't worry about it.
That's literally the part that I paused on to. Let's hear that.
Hearing a lot about openness since we got here. Back on Terminus, I could read people up and down, but here, nothing. I can't read. Tell them I can't read anyone.
And it seems like Gale is like, she's also whipping something up, but she also knows that like if she tells someone, it's a really interesting concept, right? Like, you need to be able to whip up a plan, need to be able to work with people, but you can't tell the people what you're cooking.
Right. Yeah.
And hopefully this works out. And there's it reminds me of this great series. It's called The Three Body Problem. And in book 2, it's called The Dark Forest. And there's this group of people that are needing to get like a plan together for some counter deterrence. I'm not going to spoil it, but they call them the wall facers because they are given complete like worldwide control of like funds. They can get anything that they want in order to complete their plan, but they're supposed to not tell anybody what their actual plan is,
right?
And then use as much misdirection as possible because the threat is a being that does not understand deception,
right?
So and it gets like really kind of trippy and crazy of like how they are supposed to go about doing it. And was like, yeah, so they're just called the wall facers because your mind needs to be completely on this task, but also outwardly deceiving everybody, and no one else can know what you're thinking.
Okay. Is that also this author?
No, it's actually a recent series.
Oh, okay.
It's in Liu. It's a Chinese book. Netflix is actually adapting it. And guess who's behind the project?
Who? George R. Martin? No.
Very close. D&D, the guys who made
Oh.
a Game of Thrones for George R. R. Martin. And
Okay.
I'm kind of excited for them to do it because the books are done. They're written.
Right.
So they don't need to. They're really great at adapting things when it's all written
Right.
down for them or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy actually that they are part of it. But I was like, God damn it, at first. But I was like, you know what? This will be good. And the
Yeah, we did have
incredible.
We as bad as the Game of Thrones ended, or how it soured on people the way it ended. We had more good seasons than bad seasons. That's the way I try to look at it.
Exactly. But yeah, that's kind of that same thing. But if anyone's listening and loves the Three Body Problem, we'll be covering when it comes to Netflix. Might even be doing the book reviews of it because it's one of my favorite sci-fi outside of Dune and this or whatever. So definitely we'll be checking it out. But yeah, Gale is kind of a wall facer in this moment, and everyone kind of needs to be a wall facer because if anything is in your mind, these people will be able to get it out of you.
Something is wrong with this place.
You're angry with each other. You'll feel happier once you've eaten. Eating always makes me feel happier.
Yeah, something is really wrong with this fucking place.
Yeah. I don't trust that weird little kid.
Yeah, this fucker. Now they thought it was kind of interesting. And Salvor talks to this dude that kissed her, and he's like, I'm fucking sorry about that. Like, I couldn't, turn down. He's like, you kissed me. I just couldn't break the illusion. To be fair, I'll just do my job. And they're collecting these fish, and I thought it was really interesting how this scene plays out here.
What is that?
And she's like, everything has a feeling or whatever. Even if you're a vegetarian, trees send chemical signals through their roots when they're distressed. We feel that shit.
Yeah, that was really I thought that this whole scene was really cool. Just down to oh yeah, even you crack a carrot in half, it's gonna feel pain. Just because it doesn't scream doesn't mean it doesn't feel pain. And I just like the idea that if you understand the sacrifice that goes into every thing that you do, maybe you're not going to be as destructive of a person. It's like maybe you don't indulge and go in excess if you know the cost of it, like the true cost of it, which I thought was like a kind of cool sentiment.
Yeah, I think it's really great actually. And this is when Gale kind of let's see here. Just lose your appetite.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that everything I eat from now on is going to be yelling at me the whole way down.
It's like, yeah, that is a pretty crazy concept.
Small price to pay for.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to make your vegan friends depressed, tell them the line about the the trees sending chemicals.
You're right. Yeah, we're all fucking destroying something. There's a few more steps, but you're no longer blood. So she's sighted now. We pick up with Hobo Mallow, and he is on the Spacer's ship. And I thought it was really interesting because you're like, but no, there's no way that he could have sent you here because all of our like jumps are random. So
Yeah.
like how no. He's like, well, he's like really good at and one of the interesting, like one of the draws of this show is also kind of like the same thing draws that you get from like watching an anime like Dragon Ball Z or something. Because like one of my favorite parts of Dragon Ball Z is like when people underestimate Goku and then they're like proven wrong and they're like, whoa, like what? And you get that a bit in this Foundation series because of how like crazy the Prime Radiant and the Braxis is and predicting things. So people are just like always like flabbergasted of like the predictions that Harry's going to make, and I just love seeing their expression of like,
how did you think of this?
yeah.
Like, oh man,
like,
you didn't see
normal
season
human.
1. Yeah, so
Right. Yeah, but like in Dragon Ball Z, like a normal human is just like, you know, get the fuck out of my way, Vegeta, and then Vegeta just like bitch slaps him, or just like literally like a finger thing, and
right?
Like, no way.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I just love those like little things. And then,
I just watched the episode where Frieza comes to Earth to like get his revenge, and then Trunks shows up and just like washes him.
Yeah,
another great example.
Slices him in half. Like he gets sliced in half and has time to realize what happened, and then just slides. Like,
oh my god,
what a way to go!
So rad.
That's such a great part in the show too, because you're like upper echelon. Like Frieza was 100 episodes of just them going and all of a sudden you're just like, nope, he's fucking out. And there's a new threat coming.
Yeah, that's old school shit. Yeah, we got new problems.
It's ain't nothing. But yeah, so the Spacers, and as soon as I saw her, I was just like, yeah, I know that this is someone's mother. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a Spacer that looks just like this or whatever.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be like either one of the other Spacers' mothers. But can you explain what is being...
Opalisk? Your pay would be Opalisk, but your reward would be freedom.
What the deal is here? I thought this was really interesting.
Yes, it's super cool. So like apparently the Spacers have been kind of under the thumb of the Empire, as everyone is, but their specific relationship with them is that they have to give up a 10% of their offspring to the Empire to serve as like Spacers for their, I guess, for their military, for all their flights, since the Empire is the only ones who's allowed to have these intergalactic jump ships. So they're kind of beholden to the they are beholden to the Empire because they're the only ones who can supply them with this a material called Opalisk.
Yeah.
But apparently they can mine for Opalisk at not Trantor, dang it, Terminus, right? Is Terminus where they have the Opalisk mine? So they're like, now that we have a reliable source of Opalisk, so you can not be dependent upon the Empire. So now we will give you the Opalisk, but just for the small favor of helping us overturn the Empire.
Right. Yes. And then they were like, yeah, because why should we just believe that you won't be just using us, or like we won't just be beholden to you?
Right.
And it's the fact that they have the whisper ships.
Right. It's like, we don't actually need you.
We actually don't need you. We just need you not to need the Empire, and that's good enough.
Right.
And you just gotta just stop and chill. We don't need you to do shit.
Which I thought was that the line. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I really like the line where he's like, where she says, "So you're gonna pay us in Opalisk?" Because like, I mean, the Opalisk will be your pay, but like your reward will be your freedom. Like that's what that's what the real goal is.
I was like, yeah, that's why you send him. Like he really knows how to fucking talk
Yeah, man.
Himself into a
Keeping
situation.
your daughters and sons and the offspring of the whole swarm living for yourselves. Can you even imagine it if the dam broke and you could just flow out into the ocean of the universe?
Yeah, because he described it as the Empire has this dam up.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, you are able to break the dam and flow out and just live your own lives or whatever.
Live your best life.
And one of the things is, did you say about like they have to give 10% of their children to the spacer program?
Right.
Which is, I mean, 10%?
That's awful. Imagine if like 10% of
crazy.
Americans had to give their children to like the US government.
Right.
Or something like that. Or the military.
Right. That is
awful.
That's fucked. That's super fucked.
We were built to flow outward, as you say, to flow beyond the galaxy, into the ocean of the universe.
Right. And that freedom can be yours.
And she's like, yeah, we're going to be... I thought this was also another, like, one of those Marvel quippy lines. All you need to do is help us kick Empire in the nuts. I'm like,
all right.
That's interesting. Like, you were just going so poetic with like the dam and the universe being the ocean and let's kick the Empire in the nuts. Like, oh, they just lost your poetic touch there. Just
yeah, just a little bit, yeah. But I do. This character has grown on me a lot. Like from the first episode to now, like Hober Mallow has really grown on me, and the actor. And I think he's kind of the perfect character to be able to deliver all that flowery language and the kick him in the nuts line at the end. It's like he's one of the only characters in this show where it would be believable him saying all that.
Absolutely. We go back to the what do we call Sarah Paulson and her partner? Is what we go. Like, this dude is just way too old for this young chap.
I am ending the genetic dynasty.
And this is Shiva, right?
I'm not sure.
Like, this is like the god of destruction, right?
Okay.
And he looks, he's going through some like Hindu books. Which I think is like very interesting that they like are holding on to these, because this has to be like ancient text.
Yeah,
crazy.
These guys
ancient
are
text.
rich.
Yeah.
In fact, they can just rent this shit.
Right. Yeah, these are the TV things. And like, this is actually like good picture quality.
Yeah.
Like, I would want one of these. And, it's just like, you just kind of like, you don't, it's like not a big old ball that you gotta like roll around or whatever.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I wouldn't mind having one of those actually.
Yeah, you can make it as close or as far away as you want, make it as big as you want. Shit. Love that.
And it's like a connected hive, right? So like they're able to communicate like instantaneously with each other.
It does seem like she had just like a mini meeting with all of the spacers in the galaxy, and she's like, all right, we doing this? Nah, all right, cool. You were outvoted. We're taking you to space jail.
But and the fact that we're even having this conversation right now means that we need to just turn you in.
Yeah.
Sorry. You should have like texted us actually.
I do like the idea that probably like while they were having this like little mini meeting in her head and like she was having all these votes and deliberations, at some point she was like, okay, but can I be the one who delivers him? Because there's a ship nearby with my daughter. I hadn't seen her in about 500 years. I would like to go see her.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's like such a mom thing to do. It's like, well, I got a layover at O'Hare, and like, why don't you take the train down and we can get, like lunch in the like, Mom, that's all right. I'm gonna have to get It's like an hour on the train for me, but okay.
Yeah, it's very space mom behavior. I really like that.
And she's like, yeah.
They will demand 20. We cannot bear that.
Right, yeah. If they're demanding 10% now and they hear about this, it's going to be 20% next time. And yeah, this is when yeah, they're like, didn't know that you could do that.
Let's set course to intercept.
No. The home swarm are coming to us.
He's like, I just sent her my coordinates. So this was really interesting because she's got all of her children around when we're catching up with gal pals, and her speech was pretty inspiring too.
Yeah, it was a good speech. Honestly, it was really dope. I'm curious if you think that she's like, is she really drinking the Kool-Aid? Does she think that she's a savior, or
I
does
think she's wall
she's-
facing.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I think she is actually wall facing, and it's just like I need to find out how to let these people. I think there's something. I mean, we know there's something fucked up with Tellum.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's something going on where her people don't really know how fucked up she is to an extent, or that she's been kind of like a mass manipulator in the situation.
Yeah.
And I think last week I was talking about like how Tellum was just kind of like conveniently always ends up at the right place at the right time to get at these, save these people, like really like right on death's door.
Actually, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe she kind of manipulated the situation to put these people in danger so she can save them.
Okay.
And get them kicked out of their communities and then save them.
That would be crazy. That would be
I
crazy.
think there's maybe something like that going on. But you got a neck tattoo? Was that you got a free Wheezy neck tattoo?
Yeah, I'm curious what the
what you got there?
Yeah, this is my daughter's face upside down. No. I do like that. I wonder if there is like some meaning to the tattoos, because I noticed that Tellum has a neck tattoo as well. I'm not sure if like all the females in the tribe have like a neck tattoo, or if that's.
Right.
I'm curious what that's about.
Yeah, they probably, it's probably in the book or something of what it means.
A long time ago, he devised a way to use mathematics to predict the future. It was so accurate. It was almost like magic.
I want to hear more of it, but like.
But then, he discovered there were outliers. People who could upset the math.
That's me and you. That's us.
It's us.
And even when I was very young, I thought in numbers. It was dangerous to think that way in my world, but...
Salvor's still looking great.
She is so beautiful.
There's
Both of
nothing
them
you
just
owe,
are-
but
look so
if we
badass
stop
in those
hiding...
green and red Christmas outfits that they got going.
And more fighters will be drawn out, and by the time the mule comes for us, we will be ready. All it requires is foresight. And
I mean, she's definitely drinking this Kool-Aid right now.
Right. She's like, you see my baby girl out here spitting that fire?
You know, we can, she good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just motivates everyone and just seems to be kind of like hedging her bets a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure like what to call it. I just want to say that there are people watching right now. Please give us a comment, give us a shout out, just say hey. It definitely helps us to know. We know people are watching, but we just say hey. If you like the show, we like the show. You know what I'm saying?
Give us a hello.
What's up, nerds? What were you about to say?
Oh, just that. Yeah, I just. It's. I'm curious of just like how this all is going to play out with just Tellum and Gale and the tribe, because maybe the tribe decides they're going to follow Gale. Maybe Tellum is like, she is kind of like building her up to be a leader of the tribe, but maybe that kind of works against her. And like to your point, maybe they the tribe feels out realizes how awful Tellum is. Maybe she has this really terrible secret, and then Gale has this Jedi army behind her to I guess maybe fight the Empire. I don't know what's next for these guys.
yeah, and it could really just be that Tellum is just like honestly wanting a successor and has no trust in Harry Seldon. But I'm still feeling something kind of sus.
Yeah.
A little sus, if you ask me. Like, Tellum, you're acting a bit cringe, Tellum.
Yeah, she's been a little suspect. It'd be cool. It would be cool if she just happens to be like, like you said, just doesn't get down with Harry's psychohistory, and she's combating that in the most defensive way. But it would be, I wouldn't be mad if there was something nefarious coming up in her past.
We move on to back to the Spacers in their situation, and the Spacer mom, and I was just like, oh yeah, of course it's her daughter. They look literally just alike.
Yeah, exactly like.
I forget what her name is.
She Ben's Light, I think, is the younger one. And
she Ben's Light, and
I think it's like she is the center or something like that. Or
General, we offer up Hober Mallow, who attempted to broker our betrayal.
I appreciate you coming in person. She is
center.
Yeah.
Great names. I love that the Spacers have these like, it kind of reminds me of like sort of Native American names.
Right. Yeah.
Like I really like the thoughtfulness in those in their names.
And matter of fact, it could be like when they're just reading the Hindi, all of the Hindu lore. They could be like Hindu names, just kind of like made into, or
that would be interesting. I need to, like, honestly, the more I watch of this show, the more I want to go back and read the books.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's so much I'm missing.
Listen to them. I definitely want to at least listen to them.
I came in self-interest. My daughter was tithe given to your ship. I wanted to see her.
And I am the brighter for it.
Yeah, it's just like really interesting dynamics here, because like nobody's safe from the tithing. It's just all picked at random because she's obviously like top boss bitch, and her daughter was also given.
Yeah, it's just rough. I mean, it seems like she's on the flagship though. That's cool. She's like on the Enterprise of whatever this universe is. Like at least when they stole your daughter, they put her on the nice ship.
Right. Yeah. She's a top dog too. Yeah, and Humber is just completely out of his depth for this fight here. It's like, bro, you shouldn't have tried it.
Who are you? Good question. Yeah, should we discuss that now?
Like, bro, armbarred you, like, or like clotheslined you. Like,
yeah, he got you straight with the clothesline.
Yeah, clotheslined you with like no. You didn't even have that much momentum going. He just turned around and did this. Like, bro, you are getting fucked up in this
business. Fight. Yeah.
Sir, you're not gonna I'm sorry. Just
why are you saving?
It's like these dudes are too top dog for you, Hober. But He's like, okay, I just need to get to my ship, and I got Becky.
Becky with the good hair came in with the
Her
save.
good hair, and good girl Becky. And then I was so happy that they gave it even back. That like Becky got back on the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I like. Yeah, she's not like some mindless monster or anything like that. Even though she looks crazy, she's like, oh, she pays attention to commands and stuff like that. She's just like a crazy looking dog.
Right. Person X says, surprised they gave up so quick. No one should know where the ship is. How would they know they met with the Foundation? What do you, I guess I'm having a hard time in what context of you mean.
Yeah. Who is
Do
who?
you mean who's they? And who is there? There's a lot of ships, and
I think maybe they're saying like, at least in the last sentence, how the Empire knew that Hober Mallow met with the Foundation, and I think that they had mentioned, just because of the technology of the ship, I think they knew that specific ship was
Whisper ship.
Yeah,
like, is this the one thing? And they are going to so he gets on the ship, and he's like, he's gonna jump, and he cannot escape. There's just no way for him to jump at this point.
He cannot escape. There's not enough room to execute a jump.
The suicide will take half the swarm with him.
And he's like, I'm gone, actually. I'm out of
Like,
here.
let me show you this new trick I learned.
face. Right. It's the equivalent of like a space like burnout.
His ship jumped within the confines of the hangar.
Like within the confines of the hangar, like you already can tell, like in his voice, like he's freaked out about this
Yeah.
shit.
It's like, that's not supposed to happen.
It actually doesn't make any sense. We don't know how the fuck he's doing this.
And they didn't even have to super explain it. Like we already know, like you said, from the tone of his voice and the way that Shebin's Light was talking earlier, is like, this is not something you're supposed to be able to do. Like, this should have killed everyone when they did that.
Exactly.
The magicians have learned a new trick. Foundation technology has
outpaced our own.
Their whisper ships are more nimble and they can navigate without the aid of spacers. There's more. Seldon sent Mallow to meet with the spacers and tempt them with promises of freedom.
Okay, let's see here. And person X, sorry, the swarm didn't try to work out if the Foundation could really provide the minerals they need. It seemed like the swarm ship is not supposed to be constantly known. Oh, right. So it's like if they have random jump spaces and ships, then what would be the risk? And I guess maybe that is more coming from the fact that like there is that big interconnected like web that they have where one person like has information, then all of a sudden a lot of like it's already being passed down,
right?
So once they even went into like alert mode where they contacted him and like got him on the ship, the game might have been already up from there for them.
Right.
Like
and even with the working out if the Foundation could really provide the minerals they need, I'm sure that they deliberated that if like in that little like in that hive mind moment where she's just like talking to him, basically figuring out if they're gonna take the deal.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they worked that out. They smart ladies.
Intensely Ramsey says, hey guys, I'm wondering if the Day Empire is going to do something to the terrible spacers that will sway them. Do something terrible to this.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah,
do something terrible to the spacers that will sway them. I can imagine that just the clusterfuck of what's happening is going to get Day to do something kind of irrational. Or it even might be Demerzel that does something irrational too. But they do definitely need to be swayed.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be something that's going to come to fruition in some sense of the word.
Yeah, because I'm surprised that they just decided not to side with them so quick. Although I like the idea that they can have this hive mind Zoom meeting like in 2 seconds. It was like, oh shit, y'all, that's it. Like y'all just aren't gonna join the fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be. It seems very characteristic of Day to do something terrible that's gonna make everybody overreact. But maybe they don't want to play that card twice on this show because they already did that with the whole space elevator situation. Maybe we figure out a different way for them to join the fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see here. I doubt it. The spacers enable travel across great distances, not until they have Foundation jump capabilities. Yeah, it is crazy. See, what I think might be also happening with the spacers is that they are doing a bit of like hedging too. And they may be doing like, we're going to kill the messenger, but we are considering all of this. Right? Like we do need to move forward with something. If this is true and the Empire is going to eventually have whisper ships and not need us anymore, then we've seen firsthand what happens to the people they don't need or the planets they don't need anymore.
Right.
So
yeah.
They I'm pretty sure they're smart enough to know that they're also in a pickle. So we'll definitely see what they got cooking. I'm pretty sure they have something cooking.
Yeah,
for sure. Great question, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate the questions.
Let us know if you have any other things on your mind, and we will definitely be talking about it.
Is the next scene the scene with Sareth and Day in the garden? Or am I skipping to her part?
This is they have a little spat because now this dude is like, we need to start making moves,
right? Oh, okay.
Because and they're like, yeah, we kill them or like make a move to kill them, they're just gonna get new ones. And he's like, well, we'll blow them up too. Like, let's just blow up the whole thing. It's like, man, this is not how it's gonna go.
New ones as well.
And they're listening to us right now. Actually, we're kind of fucking up just talking about this on the ship.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, if they really are...
Okay. Let's say we take down Empire. What does that look like?
Dusenbar said Foundation is strong.
I do like this little speech here too.
Regions of space that have fallen into lawlessness. The weak are objects. The rapists are kings. The poor are slaves.
Yeah, like that's just like he's seen some shit.
Yeah,
he's seen some deep shit.
Yeah, I loved all that. The way he arrived at every moment, like especially the moment where he says the rapists are kings, because like you could just feel, you could see him recollecting something awful. He's like, oh fuck, the rapists are kings. Like,
yeah,
you can see it.
It's so bad. It is so bad. This this right here when she meets up. Some of the best shot, like, I don't know, cinematography for this scene was very, very good.
So good. Underrated part of like I just like a lot of TV is, but like the way that this show is shot is just
and it's so simple too.
Yeah,
it is so simple.
They really are just more creative than just like bombastic and just like showing like I feel like this looks way better than Ahsoka just because of the way they point the camera, not necessarily the way they spend the money.
Exactly. And Secret Invasion, 200 million plus. I can't stop thinking about that.
And the parts of Secret Invasion that impressed me the most were like not expensive parts.
I was like, where's the
conversations on trains and stuff?
Where's the money? Yeah, just sitting down at a table and like having great conversation or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, this is spy shit. Love it. But
like, where's the money going?
That is insane. But yeah, this shot right here in this scene.
We've never really talked about my family.
Because she is so like visibly shaken still, and needing to make moves.
Yeah.
Oh. We have. You're a dilettante, and yet you're now to be an empress. That's a story the citizens will embrace.
What I mean is, even though they're all gone.
And if you guys are still watching Person X Translate, let us know what you think about these characters. And especially Sereth, right? Because I feel like she has just been a gem of an add-on this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of them. Hober Mallow has been great. And then the brothers, Constant and Polly, have been fantastic. Just really great additions. But for the scene, if you guys are paying attention, let us know what you guys think about Queen Sereth here. And I'm going to just like play out a little bit
They'll
more.
be joined to you. They'll be your kin as well as mine.
And just like that, that's a very easy thing that to shoot and set up, and it like portrays so much emotion just with like out of focus, into focus, out of focus.
Yeah,
there we go. And like,
so I want for you to know them.
It shows that she's a really good liar.
There's like clear deception and things going on just by how we view the person out of frame, in frame. She's acting her ass off right now.
Yeah.
Who could draw all our faces.
It was a tragedy.
It was a tragedy to all of them.
Yeah, it's like, such a shame. Ooh. Oh man, well, it's like from Atlanta. Boy, I don't know. It's like that's all you can say.
Yeah, it's like, man.
It's such a great scene between these two, but yeah, it's another scene where Sarah kind of gets her ass kicked, where she tries to like again just play whatever hand that she feels like that she has, and Brother Day is just like, all right, enough with all this bullshit. Let me just let you know what's going on. You have no choice in anything, and if you do anything out of line, we're just gonna kill you. So just be happy that I've been so kind to you thus far.
Absolutely.
Tell them what impact you've had on their lives. However, indirectly.
He's like, fuck.
That's what he's like, listen, bitch.
He's like,
hold up a goddamn minute.
Nice nails, by the way. Jeez.
So instead, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can tell he goes to the manicure.
I was talking about her.
I know.
You dick. He's like, out of my garden.
You are here by some uncanny combination of good fortune and my grace. All you need say on both accounts is, I am grateful.
I am grateful, Empire.
Sass.
Damn.
She's just like really broken up here.
Sass and sadness, man. She has really been killing it. If the show is more visible, she would definitely be a lock for like best
in that main
supporting
role.
actress
Yeah.
nom.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, she's been killing it. And then she has a secret meeting in the tunnel with Dawn, and she's like plays. It's not much of a Hail Mary per se, but like it is a very smart move that she kind of hedged earlier in the season with like meeting with him, and it's like, how come we aren't the ones? You're the same man, right?
Right. Yeah, this isn't a card that she could have played if she hadn't been setting up this relationship with Dawn to begin with.
And I was like, this is all it is falling in place very correctly, because we knew that Dawn and Dusk are like teaming up, trying to build some leverage, and this is it, right? Like, if I have her children, then Day is out of the picture, and we can maybe facilitate something better here.
Yeah, it is kind of a Hail Mary, and since it's just was not the original plan for any of these parties, but it's kind of the only card that they can all play, and it's one of the more fun cards you can play. Is like if the last resort is having sex, he's like, oh man, twist my arm,
right.
Have to have sex with this beautiful woman.
But at the same time, I was like, okay, so what does that fix other than getting Day out of the picture? Or does it really? Because again, she was like, there's no way that he would actually know.
Right.
But she talks about it like, you have different eyes than Day.
Right.
Because they're like just kinder and more like empathetic.
Yeah, it seems like she's sort of playing the long game because they are, more of each other's age range. So maybe 10 years down the line, after Dusk has already passed, brother Day could have a little accident, and now we can just have this one big happy family, and it's actually your son, so it's not even weird.
Right? Yeah, it's not weird at all. Yeah, and he's like really considering it.
Cleon child I carry. That baby could have your eyes.
It's like, fuck. She looking good too.
Right. If someone like that says some smooth shit like that, it's like, hey, my baby could have your eyes. It's like, ooh, shit,
ooh,
what?
Yeah. Okay.
So how did my drawers already come off? That was
it's like, you look down, like, oh, we're doing this. That's crazy. Oh gosh.
It'll be as though you never even existed.
And speaking into his series, like, she's right, bro. You're right. Like, don't you want a legacy? He's taking that away from you, and it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But if the one.
He was definitely about to kiss her right there, and then she was like, no, I'm still talking. I'm still talking. Not yet.
True heir were yours, your legacy would be assured. Don't you want that? Don't you want to cast a shadow?
Yeah, some of the best dialogue on TV, I feel like.
Most
just
definitely.
in their prose. And just when this show is because I thought like after that, I was like, oh, that's the end of the episode. But again, the show just like offers just a little bit more in each episode, and I love that. They're like, okay, we still need to remember the brothers. We need to have their meeting still. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yes, awesome. Let's see it. And they bring him an atomic ashtray as a gift. And I just love this line delivery so much.
An atomic ashtray.
Oh. Absurd.
War is coming, Empire.
Like, that is fucking stupid. Like the most absurd, like what?
I love that. Yeah, you're right. His delivery of that was just perfect because he's like almost laughing out loud at how ridiculous it is.
Like, yeah, everyone brings a gift, and that's something that we have seen throughout the whole series. Like, you got to have a gift or whatever.
Yeah. But it's also like kind of smart because we've also seen that no matter what gift these people are given, none of them really approve. Well,
except for the pigments.
Yeah, the pigments. Dusk did appreciate the pigments from Sereth, but it doesn't seem like Day has ever given a shit about any of the gifts that they present him like throughout the episodes. So it's like, why not just give him an ashtray? Because it's not really about the gifts. We're just here to talk about what we're talking about anyway.
Right. Yeah, exactly true.
Is it your contrition? Is it amends?
It's an atomic ashtray.
Oh. Sir.
War is coming.
She's like, yeah, but war's coming, actually. So whatever. I thought that was so good. They don't trust strangers. Let's see here. Let's see.
And then that's right. Harry comes out of Constance's face.
Yeah. Well, then because we talked about that in the episode when we were going over the episode last week, we're like, oh, it's very interesting how he like gave her a kiss, and then everyone was like kind of jealous, like, I want a kiss on the forehead from Mike Fawcett. Like,
right? That's right.
Polly was like really upset about that, and like actually that led him to be like, I'm giving up the drink, giving up my space fentanyl, and I am getting the straight and narrow. And Constant, your faith is something to be revered because of what he went through and him seeing that little kiss.
Right.
I was like, that is, but it's also just a play.
I did like how he, like in this episode, the beginning of this episode, he's like, man, I fucked up. Really shouldn't have flushed that shit.
Right. Yeah. Like, I really need a hit after being black bagged.
Right. As a guy,
I need a smoke after that.
Yeah. Nothing like being in a jail cell that'll make you want to smoke something.
Right. Now that I think about it, that atomic ashtray probably just came straight from like the hotel room that they were at.
Right.
The fancy hotel room. Like, okay. It's only a month of my wages, but sure.
Apparently there was I was watching some other video about Foundation, and they were talking about how there's a lot of smoking in the books because there was just smoking was a big part of 1940s culture, just because everybody was smoking cigarettes, people were smoking weed, opium, people were smoking all the time.
Okay, so it's like the bit more. Okay,
maybe this was like so Isaac's like in my utopia, everyone will smoke.
Right. Yeah. It'll be sweet if like like you just have a space cigarette that like is fucking like dope, just hits like a good old menthol but doesn't give you cancer.
Right.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, it actually just cleans your lungs as you
it fixes your lungs.
That's it.
It's very trippy here.
All right.
Same faces, same room.
Yeah, another just like, oh fucking, like go just anime reaction.
Yeah. There's a bunch of lines but coming out of his back.
Over 9,000. And Demerzel is immediately like, guards. Get this bitch out of here.
Nothing will change in Empire.
Guards.
Yeah,
what the hell is going on here?
Captain Timandra first spotted it at the port.
Dual brain scans were detected.
You don't want to tell nobody nothing, Demerzel?
Right.
You got two brains in this head? You think everything's good?
Right. Yeah. I mean, they did black bag them right away. So
Yeah.
they're gonna monitor them, and then they're just alk and wasted. So let's get them after that.
Right. Let them have a good time.
Right.
I guess that is really considerate in that sense. Like they gave him some time to get fucked up. It's like, it's probably their last night alive. We'll collect them after that.
All right. I do think that like they didn't prod enough during this because it's a pretty short conversation. They do like explain that it is just a sliver of Harry Seldon. So maybe that's like mostly all of the information that he is able to give at that moment. But I was like, okay, what else do you know in there, right?
Yeah.
We sue for peace not because we fear we will lose, but because we know with mathematical certainty if there is war, we shall win.
Gang, gang.
Right.
Yeah, it seemed like this was just more of a posturing, like sort of I don't know, just sort of a showy move for Harry. Like he wasn't, and it's kind of surprising since everything he knows about Empire that he would even assume that this might work. Everything that you know about Empire, you know that he's not going to be like motivated by this.
He's not gonna quit just from you showing up or whatever. Just
Right.
because he gave the anime face that actually might actually like surprise Pikachu face.
Yeah,
that's not going to be enough to cut it. And I actually do think that he kind of like lifted his chin up and did his pompous little thing. I was like, he kind of got you here. Like he laid out his reasoning in a very clear way too. I was like, yeah, this guy is still kind of the shit right now.
Yeah.
You know, I studied you. I had time to read in my youth. I read you. It was unsettling to learn that.
I fucking love Lee Pace. Yeah, I just take this moment to say that. I think I've said that every episode we talk about the show, but goddamn,
Very
like the way he
well
delivered that
cast,
line was so perfect. Where he's like, I had time to study in my youth, and I studied you. Like I didn't.
Like
I don't have a,
you.
Yeah.
I read all of your things multiple times whenever I had a chance to read.
Yeah,
it was you.
So good. So good. Loved all this.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
One man can't change much until I read that I explicitly could. You said the genetic dynasty weakened Empire. Do you remember? You called us grapes.
And I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Grapes from a withering vine or some shit. I was like, that
destined
is
for the same bottle.
Right, yeah. That is it's so good. I love it.
Good.
Who wants to tell him? Never mind, I will. No more clones. A young bride-to-be already warms my bed. A fourth throne will soon share the dais.
Now, do you think that this move of like ending the genetic dynasty is actually changing Harry's plan, or because Harry does look a little surprised?
He does actually. Let's see here.
Do you think that like the writing is already on the wall, and despite this change in the genetic dynasty thing, Empire is still destined to crumble?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what the second crisis is war, right? We're in like the second crisis.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah. Or coming up on it.
And that was accounted for, but the second crisis has to go a certain way to get back on track, or else it's going to be complete devastation of the Empire with no hope. I think the Empire is going to fail no matter what. But this is for what comes at, like literally trying to set the foundation of how we're going to save the galaxy afterwards.
Yeah, I had forgotten that we were already like they had established in like episode 1 that we're already so far off the projected path.
There's there's no way for the Empire. There's ways for them to slow it, but there's no way for them to stop it.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of hurt and pain, and just making sure that we're minimizing it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Seldon. Just like you. Demerzel, have General Rios form an enclosure around Terminus and reinforce him with ships from the auxiliary. If the Foundation has technology worth having, take an inventory, because it belongs to us.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm really wanting to, like, I said I wasn't going to play too many clips. I've been good. I'm not letting them get like over 10 seconds, but I really like this whole scene is just like
Yes, Empire.
really great and then impressive.
Thanks for the ashtray.
Thanks for the ashtray. And then they just zap the fuck out of her.
I just wanted to say real quick again, Day's outfit in this, like his standard, I guess, royal suit
garb.
Yeah, garb. Way cooler than it was in the first season. In the first season,
really?
is like depending on which way it was shot, it would look cool. Sometimes it would just look like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, like thing. Yeah, little plastic-y Power Ranger.
Yeah, but
this
one
textured. Yeah. The light isn't like so gleamy on everything.
Right. Yeah. I really dig it.
It was good. But yeah, she knew he was there in her mind, but any time that she tried to bring it up, there was like a mental block. And I really like the way that he manipulates, right? Because
Will, what kind of a ghost is this man you follow? Who keeps an elder in the dark and uses the body of a girl?
I was like, such good cuts for that.
Yeah.
One. He's like, you're literally describing yourself, my guy. Like, keeps an elder in the dark and uses the body of a girl. Like, that's you're describing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally both of you, I
right?
Guess, but shit,
are you the pot or the kettle in this situation?
Right. Yeah. I was like, damn, like strong cuts, like really great scene direction here.
You love him, you'll forgive him, but still.
This is not like an editing bay. And he's like, I will be your hand in this whole thing.
Yeah, and sorry, I was just trying to look up the editor for season 2, see if it was different from season 1, because like I think that's one of the reasons. It's just like the pacing and everything. It just feels like it's so much better this season. It feels like the editing is so much things like that, where we get the cuts back to Demerzel and Dawn. It's like, man, they're fucking killing it this season.
Absolutely. Here,
bearing a gift. Your prophet has placed you in a very ugly position.
It's dark and ominous. So yeah, and the last scene is pretty interesting because Salvor is like, all right, I figured this out, and I figured out their codes. And Gal is like,
he's talking to me, and then right now we just need to accept that.
And she's like, I can't tell you anything.
You and Harry both.
This is all bigger than one person.
Both said that this is bigger than any one person. And now you think you can just change the future all by yourself? Salvo! No, listen to me. I grew up hearing I was special. And it messed with my head thinking that way. I don't think I'm
Message.
special. Are you sure? Because they're all looking at you like you're their fucking savior. And that is fine.
Yeah. Like, that's a gangster thing. Like, and it ties back to the thing where Tellum was like, really don't worship children or deify them, because that will fuck them up.
Yeah.
And it's like, even with that theme, I was like, this is fucking good writing.
Yeah, it was like weirdly like subtle, like child actor,
Yeah.
like commentaries. Like, hey man, just
Yeah.
treat treat your kids good.
Yeah. Right.
No,
And
this.
you've heard of Shia LaBeouf, right? Let's not do that. Let's not have one of those situations here.
Corey Haim, ever heard of him? Yeah,
Right.
As long as you don't start believing it.
You don't need to trust them, but you do need to trust me.
Absolutely. But she's like, I figured out like that they're kind of wiping our memories a little bit, right? And I think that's what they're saying. And
the wiping their memories a little bit.
Yeah, or like wiping the logs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, okay, there's something weird going on. I'm like kind of losing time a little bit, and on the boat.
And Tellman mentioned that, like, when she was talking to Harry, is like, I'll eventually make them forget. They'll forget all about you after I get done with them. And then she
right. Okay. Yeah.
But
Doctor Strange and No Way Home.
But yeah, then Salvor, she was talking about how old Scarface, he was paying attention to the boat, so she assumed there was like some sort of significance with the boat. Noticed that the travel logs were erased, so she was like, so she figures out how to recover the cash and figure out where the boat last traveled. And that's when she sort of stumbles upon Harry's dead body in the kiddie pool in the parking lot.
If he's dead.
If he's dead. Which is funny because I was like thinking, like what if like one of the other guys in the tribe was just like, hey, tell him, are you gonna get Harry out the pool? I was thinking about taking a dip.
Yeah. I mean, I have been taking dips. I've just been swimming around them. It's just that, like, it's kind of my lane. Kind of my lane there.
Just trying to do my laps. It's kind of hard.
Right, yeah. I'm bumping into this nigga.
But do you think
pool? Tell him. You said that we would have a pool.
You said this pool is for everybody. Now it's just being used for your schemes.
Right, yeah. Why the fuck do we have these pillars anyway? Like, can we put another pool over there?
I'll be bumping my head every time I go underwater. Release the pillars. But do you think? What do you think? Salvor's. Wait, what?
The pillars are for squash. When you want
squash.
My dad used to play squash. I feel like squash is such a like old dad sport.
Yeah, it's a very particular sport, like polo or some shit like that.
Right.
Or croquet.
Yeah. I do like it. Tennis is better, but squash is okay.
Never played squash.
I don't know.
I've only seen it on TV.
Yeah, have you ever you never been to a squash? Yeah, like and like the squash balls are like not like tennis balls, right? But they're like really
are they bigger?
No, they're like smaller.
Oh, okay.
But like kind of like more rubbery or whatever. So you really have to like flap it against the wall. And it's fun. It's a good one. It just
hey guys, put it in the comments. Hey, y'all if y'all want to play a round of squash, teach me how. In the LA area.
Round of squash. Yeah, get some good exercise there. But she swims out to him. She's like, fuck. But it's been a full day.
Yeah. He been out there for a minute.
This is the next day. I was thinking, like, at the end of the episode, I was like, oh, was this like all happening concurrently? And it's like, no. Or like, did they like almost just leave and then? But now, like how they set it up, it can't be. This has been a full day after.
Right.
Maybe even like a day and a half, actually.
Yeah. Because I was trying to put that together too, because it was like, well, maybe, yeah, like they've been doing timey-wimey stuff, but it's like, no, this is like she's recalling the logs of when the boat went out. So
right.
This is definitely the next day. At least.
He did.
He did.
I'm trying to think.
And I liked how this person was crying when Tellum was talking about, sorry, not to talk about every little moment in this show, but one of like the henchmen was crying when Tellum was talking about just like sacrifice in the same way of just like, when we were talking about food earlier, and Tellum was talking about sacrifice here and just like enduring the pain. This is one person who's just standing back there just crying.
Right.
Just crying.
Like, we do not like this shit.
Yeah.
It kind of hurt to like have this guy drown to death in my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, because I imagine, they're pretty empathetic. They can feel everything he's feeling. Yeah.
Well, this is an unfortunate thread you've pulled.
Some villain shit, dude.
Yeah.
That only villains say shit like that, bro.
Right. It's interesting that she used that phrasing, though, now that I'm remembering, because Gail said
something like,
yeah. She's like, this, you don't want to pull this thread here. Yeah.
So, maybe the plan is that Gail's like also, I don't know. I'm very fascinated to see what happens.
No words, dear. We did try to spare you from this, Salvor, seeing him.
Is this all in the parking lot too? Like, it's kind of crazy.
Right? I don't know.
Very sorry. I want this place to be a sanctuary.
Yeah, no, I think that is definitely Water Canyon right there.
Oh yeah, that's the Water Canyon they're talking about.
Little creatures at lunch. Sometimes you have.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, just crying.
Sometimes you have to absorb the pain. Again, a neck tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
To absorb
just another great edit.
Because
while she's talking about this, to have that shot.
Little death is necessary.
That's the name of the show.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
That's the name of the episode.
She kind of did a very similar thing that Day did. He's like, thanks for the ashtray.
Right. You're fucked.
Yes, the universal you're fucked move.
Right. Don't do it. Don't.
I can twist his wrist real quick.
Right. You're going in the pool. But it's like, why didn't you do that to Harry then?
Right? Yeah. That's a good point.
It's like, or did you have to? I don't know. It was just so brutal what they did to Harry. Just to like get him out of the picture. It's like, Jesus.
It's like, did y'all just really not like this nigga? Like, what did y'all?
Like, this is so dramatic of a death when you literally could have just went like that.
Yeah. Which maybe that just like further just further reinforces the idea that she's not dead or anything like that. They're just like, it's like, I just want to knock you out so I can bring you back to your mom or whatever they're gonna do next.
Yeah,
because I don't think that she's dead.
Yeah, and then in the fact is that like, because we know when Salvor is supposed to die, she's kind of like, I've always had like this sense of security. It's like she's supposed to die by the mule or whatever.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, also, we're in a compound full of people who fuck up the Prime Radiant. So like, I feel like all bets are off now.
Right.
Or at least if Gail gets what she wants, all bets are off now. She's working toward that.
Bro, he definitely flinched right there.
Sorry. Did he?
Did you not see that?
I missed it.
Look at this. All right. Look for like right here when they cannon drops on him. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see that little like eyebrow?
Yeah.
Curl?
Which honestly, all I could think about is like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
They like they brought you. It's like, okay, just lay there. We're gonna shoot a water cannon on your face. Don't move.
Yeah, but like, right?
Yeah, he squints his eye. Yeah.
He's like, it was cold. Why is it's so cold? Warm that water up.
God damn.
Yeah. The shot
Fucking swimming
was
pool in the parking lot.
hilarious, though. I just thought, I was like, really? You're gonna. This is like exactly how the last episode ended.
Yeah.
But you shot another person in the pool. And like, yeah, the kids are like, I don't want to go in the pool. And now there's just another body. Not even chained up. It's just floating around.
Yeah, Selva's just like bouncing around the edges.
Right, like
starting
we
to
said
smell
we can't
really
take her
weird.
out. For some reason, I don't know. They're still drowning. That's exactly what we were saying. Why would they just leave his body there for someone to find? If he's been dead.
So strange, yeah.
Or
I
like,
don't know. Beyond just plot reasons that Salvor had to find some evidence that Harry was dead, I don't know the reasoning behind just leaving him there.
Maybe they will, like, I don't know, justify it here, but that was just like with how tight the show has been. I was like, it's a bit crazy. Like, either have her find them earlier, or have her, have the body somewhere else and be dead for sure.
Or maybe have like a vision type thing where like she accidentally invades Tellum's mind and sees that she killed her or something like that. But yeah, this is a weird way for her to stumble upon this, and then just a weird way for it to end, where the Gamora death shot.
Yeah. What's that planet called? Voldemort?
Wait, what you talking about?
Where Gamora dies?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I wish I could remember.
It's gonna bother me. I feel like it starts with a B.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I want to say Valor, but no, that's not right.
Dies, and that is Vormir.
Vormir.
Yeah, Vormir.
Yes,
it's just a very Vormir shot. Let's see if I can pull up the. Okay, look, it's kind of.
Yeah. Oh, with her.
Oh, such a good edit. That's
great.
Yeah, it's literally just this.
Now I want someone to put Black Widow and Gamora in this pool with Harry
Right,
and Salvor.
yeah. I'm gonna do it. I might just do it like right after this. It's like, man,
pool party.
There's so many mind stones. It's so many mind stones with that. Daddy, no, Gamora, Daddy, no. I'm sorry, little one.
Oh man, I haven't watched Infinity War in like a year, but that scene has made me cry every time. Maybe
it's such a goated movie. It's such a goated one. I used to like be like, oh yeah, Infinity War and Endgame, like so perfect, but like Infinity War blows Endgame out the water. Actually,
absolutely, yeah.
I think it actually does.
Endgame's still fun, but yeah, Infinity War
is
so
fucking sweet. You just really feel that shit.
Watch that shit tonight.
All right. I used to have that, like when Disney Plus came around and all of them were just added on. I like literally just had Infinity War and Endgame playing in the background like all the fucking time. Like usually just put it on. Just go to the next one.
It's so funny because like right before Disney Plus came out, I was like trying to create my own Disney Plus. It seems like because like you could see on my like stream purchases like history, like all the movies I was buying before Disney Plus was like announced. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy all the Disney movies. I mean, buy all the Marvel movies. Like I have like Guardians, Endgame, Infinity War, and then they announced like, oh, all this is gonna be on this platform that you're already gonna buy. It's like, fuck. Wasted all this money.
Yeah. I'm a pirate. Everyone knows I'm a pirate. And YouTube knows I'm a pirate. That's why we got shut down last week. But like I do pay for these services, but then I'm like, I paid for it. Now I'm gonna just, you don't sell like Disney doesn't do DVD box sets or whatever. Or actually they just announced that they're going to release like the 4K video box sets for like WandaVision, Loki, and Mando season 1 and season 2. So I'm like, okay, yeah.
Conveniently skipping all the shows that nobody watched, like like Moon Knight.
Right. For some reason, people are like, Moon Knight, yeah, that was like. I'm like, no,
I've had some
bad show.
I've had some defenders of Moon Knight too. I feel like it would have been way better if like it was a movie because I actually genuinely enjoyed that first episode, and I feel like it probably could have been a good movie, like Hawkeye, but yeah, it was way too long and just fucking dumb by the end of it.
Yeah, like the end of it almost pisses me off more than Secret Invasion does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It almost really does because I was like, what the fuck was this? Like, why did we spend any time with this character really? So like, does he? I don't know. It's really weird.
Guys, go to the Drunk Banthas Drunk Banthas channel. Check out every episode where we reviewed Moon Knight. It was awful. It was a torturous experience.
Right. And then we'll just talk shit about Secret Invasion on 9 Yards. But yeah, let's see here. We are done with the episode and going to be moving on to the outros. But do you have any like final thoughts, predictions, or actually? Well, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that I predict that the end of this season is probably gonna just like be the jumping off point for the war. And that's when things are gonna really get kicked into fourth gear. Shout out to Rick and Morty. But I feel like that's when things are gonna really pop off. And maybe in the next couple episodes, we're gonna get a little bit more Demerzel backstory, a little bit more Sereth making moves. And a little bit of finding out what Gale is got cooking. I'm excited to see all those things develop
because we have 8, 9, and 10 left. So I think things are going to be cooking very quickly. Let's see here. But I did want to just do like a little do from the Reddit Foundation TV.
Okay.
My partner is rewatching Harry Potter movies, spotted 2 very familiar faces.
I noticed this. So Raish was in Harry Potter.
Oh, is this Raish right here?
I think that's Raish.
Okay, and then what's the other face then?
I don't know the other face though. But I know it's Raish. They're just through IMDb. I haven't seen this picture though. No, I'm curious.
Let's see here. As Dean, I could recognize Raish. Okay.
Raish is Dean. Okay.
I've been wondering what was Empire doing there. Oh, is Empire?
Whoa, Leapace isn't there? Or no, it's probably like, Dawn, right? Oh man.
Which one is he?
Oh, that's Sleep. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe it is Leapace.
Oh no, so it is Raish and then The guy playing her father, Peter, was in the other show, and then only brother Constant is brother Constant. Is this? Oh, is this brother Constant back here? So it's Raish and then brother Constant, I think.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really cool. Nice. That's
That's
good.
great.
That's funny. All right. Let's see here. Think about the most unbelievable thing. Again, Secret Invasion, 6 episodes. The first 2 were an hour long or just under.
Mm.
The last 4 were like 30 minutes, 6 minutes of credits. Like $220 million, dude.
Doesn't make any sense.
This is amazing. Hats off to Steve.
Despite like
Silo
no matter what
cost-
you feel about how like the quality of the show or how it wrapped up or anything like that, where'd the money go?
Where's the money at, bro? Silo cost $300 million. No
What?
fucking way.
Holy shit. That's a lot of money. I haven't watched that show yet, but I thought that Apple TV Plus was good about saving a buck.
The 6-episode series comes in at Silo was 10 episodes, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen. My brother just started watching the other day.
Silo feels rich and detailed, like a $200 million budget show that Amazon might greenlight, except costing far less. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's 10 episodes of Silo.
It's 10 episodes. Silo did not cost anywhere near $300 million to make. Yeah, absolutely not. It's literally one location, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, how the fuck?
Wrong when Googling Silo TV series budget. You get a paragraph that starts with the 6-episode series comes to in at a cost of $300 million, exactly what we just read. Silo had 10 episodes. B, the paragraph goes on to name the 3 at various times showrunners of the Amazon series Citadel. And C, the article is entitled Reviews Slam Citadel as Silo Gets Raves. It's
Yeah,
Citadel.
This is what happens when you get your news from Twitter, people. They read the second line.
Invasion is a giant piece of turd costing $200 million. That's insane. I think it's a money laundering, and yeah, absolutely. But we haven't been able to get a clear metric. People have said that the first season was 45 million, and I just do not believe that.
Man, I mean, in that same video that we were watching earlier, where David S. Goyer and the VFX artist from Foundation were talking on Corridor Crew, they do cry broke a lot talking about the first season. It's like talking about oh, we had to make these concessions, we had to make these decisions based on like getting the best, making him look the best, but maybe using the effects the least. So I'm willing to believe a little bit that the budget was smaller than your average blockbuster TV show, but at the same time, 45 seems so small.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm saying it varies widely from episode, but I'd guess it's around it's a possible and a bit higher than 45 million. Yeah, I just don't believe the 45 million. Remember, I would say 100 million, but I can't say that it does look good, knowing that they're definitely falling under budget from a lot of these other shows that are doing so much. And I mean, the show is doing so much while these other shows are just, exactly what you're talking about.
No, yeah, right, yeah. The change of the it's I don't know.
Young Seldon, awesome.
Young Seldon, I love it.
I'm glad this guy's getting his flowers because I usually hold off watching this guy until after we do ours. I don't want to know really an outside perspective while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I'll be watching his video as soon as possible.
Yeah, he's great. He makes great videos.
Oh, it's blurred out because it's a spoiler. This is 6 days ago, so it's probably like the last episode.
Pete Peppers, if you want to come on the stream, talk about Foundation
I should
real
hit him
time.
up and see if he would like to. It's not really, because I mean he's been doing very good work and getting a lot of views.
Yeah, well deservedly. Yeah, he's been doing good shit.
Some people do not like the Metallics as a storyline. Okay, but you suck.
Yeah, we're pro gal pals over here.
The resurrected Harry is a robot, and the showrunners are incredibly clever about showing you in a way where you can't trust your own eyes. That's an interesting theory. I feel like both are converging very well this season, where a lot of the stuff on Terminus, I was like, would rather see Empire stuff. You know?
Yeah. This has been a really nice balance of all of the storylines. Even like just talking about like the Hober Mallow storyline with the spacer stuff. I thought that was going to be a storyline that they maybe only spent one scene on this episode, but they gave it a lot of time for them to wrap it up, and Hober to make his escape with Becky and all that stuff, and us to learn something new about the technology of the jump ships. So like they've really been economical about the story that they're telling this season, so to make all of the storylines very satisfying. I just think the writing and the editing has just been a tier above the last season. Yana's motives. Okay.
What's the potential? Looks like it just says it personally or through a trusted servant helps Harry in developing psychohistory, and then when the time is right and Harry needs a push, it's done. Now my pet theory would be that Yana Kai and Demerzel are all the same entity. I'm not yet sure about that, but there is definitely something up with Yana. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. I like the subreddit. The subreddit's been doing pretty good. Doing pretty good about I should actually start just posting these. I don't know why I haven't like posting these to live stream, because that always helped. I always used to post like the live streams to the Atlanta podcast or the subreddit to that even the Idol. I was posting it to that subreddit people. And they're actually like fans of the Idol, and I got like a lot of hate from them. They're like, no, you fucking suck. You just talk shit about the show like everybody else. Wait, you guys aren't on here talking shit. Right. You guys are liking the show? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like this was a safe space for Idol fans? I didn't realize. Yeah, it's funny. But, my sister loves the Idol too. I'm just like, and our conversations about it when we talk about it, it's just so weird.
Yeah. Like, you're like, wait, what? Like, what about it? Yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, Charles Ann. Shout outs to my sis.
I would really like, because I remember like YouTubing it, like when I was thinking about like making my video before you came out with yours. I was like, okay, let me hear everyone who likes it. And you doing it, I was like, I can't find anyone that's willing to stick their neck out for this show.
Yeah.
There's no one on YouTube that's making videos and saying like, oh, the Idol's good. Like, it's actually good. And here's why. It's like, no, there's no one doing that.
Yeah, I try to give it props for like the things that I felt it did right and the things that could have potentially made the show go in a good direction. But yeah, we discussed it. Guys, y'all should check out our video. Go on the 900 Yards channel, check out our dual Idol review. It's pretty rad, if I do say so myself.
And yeah, probably we'll do another one for Foundation, double post it or whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
But yeah, this episode 322, pretty decent for like the show. like Ahsoka had literally just the day after like 3,000 votes.
Yeah.
But like I get it, whatever.
Yeah, not fair.
But an 8.1, I agree with that wholeheartedly, actually.
For sure. If not a little bit more, maybe 8.5, 8.2. But yeah, I felt that this was one of the stronger episodes of the season.
And 8.4 unweighted. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a good 8. I think it's a really solid entry.
Yeah. A gentleman's 8.
A gentleman's 8. So that is it for episode 7. We did cover a little bit of flashback of episode 6. So that means if everything goes according to plan, these next few weeks we will be having the shortest episodes of our lives. We're not going too hard. Still not 3 hours, 2.5 hours, but whatever. We had some fun. And I do want to thank Person X for asking us questions, just stopping in, and Tansley, of course, for all of the comments. Thank you guys. We just see you guys watching, and then we're like, well, do they like do you have any questions? And we just like to engage with you guys, and that's why we do the lives. So thanks for that. And thank you, Jedi Master Grayson, for joining me today.
Of course.
It's been a blast. And where can people find you?
Well, you guys can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise YouTube, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Every other Monday at 4:20 a.m. we have our new show, Does It Hold Up, where we talk. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Does it hold up? It's the show where we talk about classic genre films and decide whether it stands the test of time. Our Shadow episode just dropped with LaRon Reedus. We got several episodes with the 9 Nerd Yards crew coming on. We talked about Tammy and the T-Rex. Had Blake come on talking about Hook. It's been a super fun time. So go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, fantastic channel. And they are about to break that sacred 1,000 mark. And if you guys
getting close,
if you're watching this, help them get there. It's a fantastic channel, and honestly, I think after 1,000, you're going to see some pretty big numbers. YouTube kind of just loves it when you start monetizing and being able to live stream straight from. I think you guys are going to kill it. We just need to get them there to 1,000, and we're so close. Can't wait.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Can't wait. But yeah, that is well, I guess you guys can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, right here on 9 Nerd Yards, of course. And if you want to reach out to me, again, Twitter, Instagram, 9 Nerd Yards. Also, the Patreon is still just $1, and some bonus interaction and content goes up on there. Discord has 300 people in it. We're not really talking about Foundation in the Discord. We'll probably get some more Ahsoka memes and stuff in there. Not a lot of people are watching right now, but might as well just say it. We will be starting a new channel, and 9 Nerd Yards will be the live streams, and the live content will be going to that new channel. We don't have that many details yet of like when we'll be getting that up, but make sure you guys stay posted to that. It's going to be a collaborative effort between all of the people that you love on 9 Nerd Yards, including Blake, who has the Unfiltered Bachelors channel, and then also the Drunk Banthas, of course, will be It's going to be a playground. It's going to be a nice sandbox for us to try out some new ideas. And but the video essays will be staying just on 9 Nerd Yards, and the live streams will be moving to the new channel, and more updates to come. But
very excited about all that.
For now, that is all, you fucking nerds.
Goodbye, you beautiful nerds.
Goodbye. We'll see you next week. Love ya. Peace.